We're your teacher friends.
Hi, it's your teacher friends, Lydia.
And Heather. And we're here today with another activity that you can do with your students. This one is helping us out about food safety. And it's a beautiful crossover between the design and technology curriculum and the food part of that, and science curriculum and setting up experiments and design there. So we can show you how to do all that, and the materials that you'll need for today are these.
So the main idea of this activity is to test student understanding of whether it's safe to be eating food that has fallen to the floor. What do you think of the 5-second rule?
Depends how hungry I am.
So we're going to be showing students how to quantify for themselves, to see for themselves the results of food that has fallen after 5 seconds, or whether it's all still safe to eat food that has fallen after a minute. And to do this experiment, it's good to emphasize the elements of fair testing. There's a great opportunity to be doing that in this activity. Choose a selection of foods that are wet and that are dry, that are commonly found in the lunchbox. And then we'll be choosing places to drop them where students commonly eat, have their recess and have their lunches. Shall we get started on this? I'm going to write on these bags. We're going to have 3 bags per food item. First bag is control, the second one is food that is dropped after 5 seconds, and the third bag is for food that has been dropped after a minute. Well, you are going to make sure that there are equal sized food items to place in each of these bags.
Awesome. I'm going to go with some cucumber.
Do you mind wearing gloves for this? And baking paper.
Sure.
Though we are testing how dirty food is. Here we go. So I'm going to be labeling the bags control. 5 seconds and 1 minute. So this is a great opportunity to be comparing foods that are wet with foods that are dry. Good, thank you. And the kind of surfaces that these foods fall on.
Give me some beautiful slices.
So the purpose of the control experiment is just to compare the other 2 bags with, the results of the other 2 bags with.
And cheese?
Cheese sounds good. Cheese is always good.
I'm gonna make you a slice of cheese.
So 1 for the control.
Whole slice.
Whole slice.
I don't even have to cut that.
Did you say whole slice or holy slice?
Holy.
Okay, and we'll need 2 other pieces to be dropped.
Okay.
Shall we go outside to our favorite lunch spot and drop these foods?
Let's do it.
So now that we're back from our favorite lunch spot, it's time to put these bags away in a warm spot where we will observe it over a week. And just to see whether there's any difference in bacterial growth that will be picked up on these items. We're going to be comparing the results from a clean piece of cheese, the results from a 5-second drop, and the results from a cheese that was dropped for an entire minute. And so teachers could be doing the same, checking regularly on these results over a period of 1 or 2 weeks. What do you think, Heather?
That sounds good.
Shall we come back to it in a week's time?
Yes, I'd love to have a look. We could have a look at some of the things that have been dropped for 5 seconds. We could have a look at some of the foods that have been dropped for a minute.
So what do you think? Is it still safe to be eating foods that have been dropped for 5 seconds?
I'm going to have to wait for the results to find out. Okay, so here's our results from some of the foods that have been dropped for 1 minute and some of the foods that have been dropped for 5 seconds. And some of our foods that we put straight in the bags, the controls. So what do we think? Do we think the 5-second rule is a thing? Is it real?
I think it depends on whether the food is dry or whether the food is wet.
You still want to eat it?
And whether you're a 3-year-old or a teacher.
Oh, I wonder what interesting results that everybody in their classrooms have got on this one.
It's just safe not to eat anything that's dropped. I'm just so grossed out. I can't believe that's growing on my cheese.
No, I can't. That cheese looks like the piece I put in my lunch this morning. That's fine. I could eat this, no worries. So this is a good time to remind us that we don't want to open these bags once we've sealed them up. And don't forget where you've put the bags, because you don't want to come back and find them at the end of term 4.